Ready?
Yeah, are you introducing it again?
Hello, welcome.
This is my channel, Jesse.
This
is Table Knots, Jesse.
Welcome to Table Knots.
This isn't welcome to, this is Parks.
Over on Quackalope, we do a series called Played It Once.
Oh, yeah.
And so I thought because you'd had your very first impression of this game, this is New Year's Eve. I thought it would be a good way to round out
Actually, it's New Year's. It's like 12:24 a.m.
I thought it would be a good way to round out the evening to the very last game we played of 2020 was and is.
And the very first game we played of 2021.
That's true. Was and is Parks. So, over on Quackalope, we do a thing called Played It Once. Because first impressions matter, so we decided to make a show about ours. That is a line that I'm very proud of coming up with. I use it
actually
as often.
I want you to know how many times I've thought about trying to spin that into my own thing. Because it is a great video idea.
Line. I mean, it's a very solid line. All that being said, I've played this game many a time. I also have a full review of this game over on Quackalope. I'm going to hold my opinion back just a little bit until you're clearly wrong, and then
jump on me
I'll jump on you.
Like a cougar in Yellowstone National Park.
So let me start off with...
I thought you were going to hold back.
No, I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm going to ask you questions.
Okay, yeah.
Why did you get this game?
Well, you gave it to me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a good guy.
With that being said, I was going to get this game either way.
Okay.
I am a sucker for art. I'm a sucker for components. My wife loves national parks.
I've heard
things like that.
Yeah.
She asked me a few weeks ago, she was like, "You own parks, don't you? Like, I want to play that game." So I wanted to get this game because it's beautiful. It can hopefully bring in some people that aren't always board gamers into that hobby. That was really the reason that I wanted to get it.
Okay. What did you expect from this game? Just for context, for people who are following along, you're doing your very best to collect and manage resources. You have different cards that build out a mild tableau that allow you to manipulate those resources. But those resources are going to represent the seasons, the environments that you're going through. Sun and rain, forest and mountain, and all of those will be spent on these beautiful illustrated park cards. That's going to be your set collection and scoring element of the game. The person who is the most successful at managing their resources and going to as many parks as possible will be the victor at the end of a 4-season game.
Right.
Now, this is the mechanic you're talking about.
Right.
This tile system, this modular tile system, will expand throughout the course of the game, and you'll be moving your hikers down. Not a worker placement.
No.
But it's a progression game. You're slowly pushing everyone down this line like a conveyor belt.
Trying not to get stuck.
Taking the actions that are available on the tiles and doing your very best to maximize your resources while other people are sort of in your way or in line on this board. So, again, back to that question. What did you expect going into Parks?
Mechanics-wise, I honestly didn't know a whole lot about Parks. I mean, I knew that this was it. I knew that you were going to be traveling through the parks, collecting different resources and using those resources to gain points. I didn't really know about you're using them on parks or anything. I didn't know the details behind it, but I knew kind of along the lines of what it was, and just that it was a gorgeous production. And that's really all I knew, and I knew it was well regarded. A lot of people seem to like it. It's a light game. I mean, not overly light. This is still a thinky game that has good decision making, but it's not like a heavy game by any means. I would say it's below medium, like light to medium weight. And that's basically, I didn't know a whole lot.
So, first impressions, final thoughts, based off
first impressions and final thoughts.
That's another line. That's another line that I enjoy. Based off of those two things, right? The fact that you got the game from me, but it was already on your radar. It's one that your wife had requested, but you didn't really know a lot getting into it.
Right.
You've played it once now.
I really like it. It does basically what I thought it was. I mean, like I said, I didn't know a ton about it, but this is the experience that I was expecting coming into it. And I think with more plays, you can probably get more strategical. I mean, you know just from watching me, I
destroyed you.
You beat me by like 6 points. And I missed using a campfire probably 3 of the 4 rounds we played.
You missed a lot of it.
I missed even considering the canteens multiple times. Like, there were things that went over my head, whether that's because it's just, 12:30 at night or in the morning, or something like that. But I missed things that can be improved upon. So there is strategical depth there that maybe I didn't expect coming in. I really enjoy the game. The production quality, the art is even better than I really anticipated. And I knew that it was a gorgeous production, but really the little meeples and the people and all the wooden tokens add a lot that I didn't even expect it to be that much.
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay-wise, I really enjoyed it. It's, like I said, it's what I wanted it to be. So it's not only what I expected, but this is what I wanted out of this game, a game that I can introduce to family and friends fairly easily, that has a widely accessible theme.
Sure.
A lot of people like national parks. Even if you don't like national parks, you know what national parks are.
I mean, you're going to be willing to get that box to the table.
Oh, yeah.
Like that opens the door, right? That's
right,
what you're saying.
Totally. Yeah, and you can pull open the box and show them just 2 of the freaking art pieces, and people are going to be enticed to try it out.
Favorite, least favorite?
What?
Mechanics.
Mechanics?
Or elements of this game.
Yeah.
What stands out as the best thing about it?
I think the best...
And what was the most lackluster for a first play?
I think the best thing about it, and also the worst thing about it,
both,
it all comes down to this action selection system.
Okay.
I think that is, it's not necessarily new. I mean, I've played games like this before, but I think it does it really well, and it's more strategical than I thought it might have been coming into it, and I think that is a surprise to me. Like, that was thinky enough, and I'm curious to see how it plays with more than 2. As far as how you're going to have to manage that even more.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get jumped, and you want to make sure you get the things you need.
Yep.
I think at 2, it's not the best. I mean, I enjoyed it. Totally enjoyed it.
Sure. The puzzle's less interesting.
I'm imagining that at higher player counts, it's better, because at 2...
This becomes way more pressured.
Right. It really felt like we were kind of just taking the next action 80% of the time. Yes. That wasn't the case every time.
But most of the time.
But most of the time, we were moving from one to the next, and we were
Whoever
fine and dandy with that.
Got a little bit of an advantage.
Right, and we were all happy and hunky-dory with the way that went. And I do think that at higher player counts, that's going to get a lot more tense, and a lot more tough decisions need to be made when advancing on that track. And so that's part of... I think that's the best mechanic because it's so interesting to me, but I think it's the worst that it didn't play amazingly at 2. I think it played well. I mean, I'm happy to own it at 2. I'll play it with my wife at 2 for sure, but I think at higher player counts, it's going to even improve.
Who won't like this game?
Gosh, I mean, people that like extremely heavy games. This is obviously not. This is just I mean, you can just kick it out the door immediately. It's not extremely heavy in any way, shape, or form. And then people that want like something just super thinky with a lot of variability. I think this is going to play similarly most times. Not the same, obviously. There are going to be differences. But you're going to get the Parks experience each time you get Parks to the table.
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
It's not going to be a wildly different experience. You're getting the game, and in my opinion, that's a good thing. I don't want it to be wildly different every time I put it at the table.
It's not
it's
asymmetric,
a gateway
it's not
game.
wildly modular. I mean, it's varied enough to be interesting,
totally.
But it doesn't change the script each time.
Yeah. I think if you want something that's going to be new and exciting each time you play it, this is not it. If you want something that you'll know and love and grow to love even more and can introduce it to new people left and right because you know going in the experience to expect, this is great for that.
So I know you're going to play it with her.
Sure.
But it's a very different question from... Will she actually like it? Will your wife actually enjoy this game?
Yeah, I think so. My wife likes a lot of different kinds of games. She likes light games. She likes some heavier games, too. There's nothing wrong with that at all. She just doesn't play a lot. I think every game she's played, she's probably enjoyed.
And the fact that this one had her interest.
She hates Pandemic.
That's fair.
I don't know why, but she does.
I mean...
But yeah, she likes all types of games. She loves Obsession. We've played that. She likes that. I mean, of course, we play a lot of party games and stuff. But I think that she'll really like this. I think the art is just such a big draw to me and other people that it's hard not to like it just by looking at it.
Sure.
Even if the game was lesser than what it is, which it's not, it is a quality game. This could have poor art and still be a fun game. It would not have the same quality to it or the charm, but it would still be a fun game. But I think this is one of those games that just by my one play, it would be difficult to not like.
I think it's fair. So, the question that we ask at the end of this, the most important question, did you enjoy it and would you play it again?
Yes and yes. Totally. I definitely enjoyed it and I will play it again. Cool.
Well, there's your first impressions of Parks. If you're interested in my thoughts around this game, I do have a full review out.
Oh, wow. Plug in yourself on my channel.
I've got to grow however I can. But for context, I mean, I really do. I think you hit on a lot of the things. This isn't reinventing the script. It isn't new. It isn't something that I grab from the shelf every single time. I'm excited to mix in Nightfall, the new expansion.
Yeah, and I'd love to try out the expansions. No idea on
and
that.
I gave you this copy, but I also own another copy when I gave it to you, right?
I think you gave it to me, and no, you didn't own one at the time. You gave it to me, and the very next week I saw you.
Yeah.
You were like, "Oh yeah, I got a new copy of Parks."
Because for me, this is a game all about going on the adventures to locations I have legitimately been to.
Right. Which I can't necessarily say the
same.
And
I love that, though. I love that. For me, usually when I play this, it brings up stories and memories and thoughts about... I mean, I have seen this.
Right. See, and Danielle has, and I have not. And I actually really like the little flavor text, too. Because it's not like... It doesn't say things like, oh, this gorgeous mountain range spans the Arizona coastline.
Yep.
But it says, for example, often called the American Alps, the North Cascades features jagged peaks, deep valleys, cascading fall, and alpine glaciers. It gives you a little bit...
A symbol of the American West. The giant Seguro only grows in small portions of the U.S. and is protected by this park.
Yeah.
It's just enough to get a sense of what this is and why it's here.
It's first you're drawn to the art, and then you see the little text. And then that brings you in even more. It's a very, I don't know the word for it.
For anyone that loves the great parks, the national parks, loves celebrating kind of our country and how beautiful nature can be, this game does that justice.
Absolutely.
And I really think this is one of those games that highlights mechanics that reinforce the theme.
Totally.
We're going on a journey. We're taking steps. All of these resources... or really the environment you're exploring there, a little bit of green nature filled with a ton of sun.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful forests, rolling landscapes in an area that is usually covered with just bright sun. I mean, that, for me, is such a cool little narrative element. They've thought about every location, every piece, and what it would take to experience that area.
Totally, yeah.
The seasons shift, they change, the puzzle is constantly, it's a game that shows why flavor text and mechanics can merge so beautifully together. No, it's true. It is true.
It is very much
so. I absolutely, did enjoy, have continued to enjoy, and would continue to play. Now, I do have to say, this isn't one that I get out to the table often with people who I have played it with already.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I teach this game more often than I play it again.
Yeah,
which I don't mind.
One we would regularly play. After playing it the first time,
I don't mind that. And I think it's because that experience isn't vastly new from play to play.
Right.
But the teaching of it, the experience of it, it's so easy for me to get to the table, for me to refresh a few things and say, here's the journey we're going on.
And don't get us wrong, there will be people that play this over and over.
I'm just talking about myself. Yeah. Anyone who is a lightweight or family gamer, I think will enjoy getting this back to the table.
Yeah.
But all that being said,
remember to do the wrong channel. What am I doing?
It is the wrong channel.
What am I doing?
It is the wrong channel.
Thank you, Jesse, for teaching me Parks and getting it to the table with me.
Leave a comment down below if you enjoy Parks or if you don't enjoy Parks. Let us know what you think
with you, Draco.
Is the make or break element of this game. And with all that being said, remember...
No. That's not how we do things here.
We
just cut down in the middle of a conversation.
Or table do. This is still a space show.